Hi, welcome back to another episode of Born to Talk About Sports. I am your host, Steve Bourne, and this week I'm just going to do a quick summary of what happened the past weekend with the WWE Royal Rumble, AFC NFC Conference Championships, and then I'm going to talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs going into the All-Star break. Undoubtedly Canada's best hockey team right now, but we'll see coming up. First, talk about the WWE Royal Rumble. A few surprises. Drew McIntyre coming back caught me off guard. I read that he was supposed to be out a bit longer, but Brock Lesnar winning the Royal Rumble doesn't surprise me after losing the WWE title earlier in the night. The highlight, probably to me at least, outside of the Women's Royal Rumble was Seth Rollins coming out to the old Shield entrance with the full camo gear and full Shield entrance through the crowd. But overall, pretty good show. The Men's Royal Rumble, though, did disappoint. And with the Shane McMahon controversy, him trying to rebook it to make himself look better, and then pissing off enough people that rumors have it that he was told to step away from the company in the meantime. But that sets up Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia coming up in a few weeks, and on the road to WrestleMania. Then we've got on Sunday the AFC and NFC Conference Championships, with the Chiefs looking to run away with things, and then they forgot how to play football at the final 10 seconds of the first half, and then the entire second half. The Bengals defense was absolutely outstanding. Tyreek Hill did not catch a single ball in the entire second half or overtime. And good on the Bengals for just chipping away, forcing the Chiefs to tie it late. And then 13 seconds in, Mahomes gets picked off. The Bengals come the other way, kick the field goal to win it. So 2 years ago, the Bengals won 2 games. This is the importance of drafting and player development, ladies and gentlemen. You draft a franchise quarterback, you surround him with people he had chemistry with in college, and now Joe Burrow is looking to become only the 3rd quarterback in history to win a national championship game, college national championship game, and a Super Bowl, joining Joe Willie Namath and the great Joe Montana. Then the NFC Conference Championship, which was physical as hell, poorly coached really on both sides. But Jimmy Garoppolo makes the mistake at the end. Interception with 1:20 to go. Rams were down 10, come back to win 2017. And we've got Rams versus the Bengals in the Super Bowl. And if anybody put money on it at the beginning of the year, I'd call him a flat-out liar. And so that's the only NFL talk I'm going to do for probably the next couple of weeks, just because there isn't much left to talk about on the field. If you want to talk about the whole congratulations to Tom Brady for a hell of a career, greatest quarterback of his era, probably undoubtedly greatest quarterback of all time, and as a Bills fan, that is so hard to say. I was just happy he took off to the NFC. And then you've got the whole Brian Flores situation, but that story keeps evolving, so we'll get back to that as it goes on. But and then Sunday afternoon, the Canadian men's soccer team in Chile, Hamilton, pulled off I'd say an upset, because Canada was only ranked 40th. The Americans were ranked 11th. Canada was missing arguably the best player between both of them, and Alphonso Davies, because he's still dealing with the myocarditis from leftovers from COVID. So, and then Canada gets the early lead, 7-0, goes into a bit of a defensive shell for pretty much most of the game. Canada capitalizes on the American defense pinching, come the other way, and then the 90th minute plus 5 minutes extra time puts the game to bed in front of a chilly Hamilton crowd, but came away with a huge win, huge 3 points, and Canada is on the verge of clinching its first World Cup appearance since 86, when they went completely over the tournament, no wins, no goals. But watching this Canadian team over the past 6 to 8 months or so, seeing it evolving, this is a different Canadian team. They're ranked 36th in the world right now due to on rapid rankings, and probably by the end of this, they could be easily a top 30 country. Considering when John Herdman took over this team, they weren't even in the top 70, maybe 75th in the world. And in less than 2 years, he's turned this team into, I don't want to say world power because they've only been beaten up on North American teams, but definitely a team to not take lightly anymore. This isn't your father's Canadian team where they would get blown out 8-1 by Honduras. So to go on to the topic for the week this week for me is my Toronto Maple Leafs. The past this season's been I'd say a relative success so far. Third in their division only because they've played the fewest amount of games. They're only a handful of points back of Tampa and Florida. If they win all their games in hand, they are first in the division. Austin Matthews, after a slow start, missed the first 3 games and then slow start afterwards, is now on pace to score 56 goals, which would be a franchise record. Even though he's on pace to play only 79 games, he's still on pace for 100 points. And people would say he's only a pure goal scorer. I think that idea is pretty much gone out the window. Mitch Marner, the All-Star break has come at the worst possible time for this kid. He's scored in 7 straight games. I believe he's up to 15, 16 goals on the season. This past 2 games against New Jersey, he's been white hot. Helped with the comeback on Monday night against New Jersey when they're down 4-2 in the third. Helped with the comeback on Saturday night against Detroit. And scored 2 goals and had 2 assists in the dominant 7-1 win Tuesday night over New Jersey in the second half of a back-to-back. But the big question is for the Leafs, can they do this in the playoffs? They've got some grittier depth than they've had in the past with guys like Nick Ritchie, Andre Kasha, Michael Bunting. To me, he's an improvement over Zach Hyman. He's got a bit of a better scoring touch. He does all the work Zach Hyman does. And he is about 1/5 of the price, which will help. I mean, he's only making $950,000 for this year and next year, and he's on pace to score 25 goals this year. So, Michael Bunting has obviously been huge for the Leafs. Scarborough, Ontario native. On Hockey Day in Canada, based out of Scarborough, he scored a hat trick. So, I mean, nice. That's a nice little prop to Scarborough in Western Toronto or Eastern Toronto. My mistake. But again, it'll all come down to, can Matthews and Marner perform in the playoffs? And for that, we just don't know. We will find out. But the key for the Leafs is they have to win this division. They cannot have to face Florida or Tampa in the first round. And this is where the NHL playoff format is broken. There's no doubt about it. Call me a whiner. Call me what you will. But when 3 of the top 5 teams in the NHL are in one division and one of the top 5 teams in the league is a guaranteed bump out in the first round, that doesn't do anybody any good. It doesn't do the NHL good. It doesn't do fan bases good in Tampa, Florida, or Toronto. The NBA probably might have the best system. The 1 through 6 guaranteed in. 7 and 8, 9 and 10 play a bit of a page playoff format. So, and then 1 and 2 are the division winners. I like that format. It puts a bit more emphasis on winning your division, as well as it makes the regular season a bit more important for teams that think they don't have a shot at a 7 or 8 spot, but can get in through a bit of a mini page playoff format, where 7 and 8 play each other, 9 and 10 play each other. The loser of 7 and 8 faces the winner of 9-10, and those are your 7 and 8 seeds right there. So, like I say, the Leafs do need to, I'd say, definitely try to improve their defense come playoff time, because if Muzzin goes down in the playoffs again, they are in a bit of a hole. Justin Hall cannot be your third best defenseman. Jake, like I said, I'd like to see them add a new defense partnering for Jake Buzzard. I think Justin Hall and Travis Dermott are both trade bait. Liljegren and Sandin have improved immensely. They still have ways to go, but this is their first both full year in the NHL, so this will be a test. The grind for the final 40. The Leafs have 40 games left, on pace for 118 points. So this is going to be exciting for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I honestly don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs. Just because, as I said, Matthews and Marner have pulled no-shows the past couple of years. Willie Nylander was the only one of the core four to actually show up. And unfortunately, John Tavares was taken out 11 minutes into Game 1 against Montreal, so you can't really blame him. But, yeah, so that's my opinion on the Toronto Maple Leafs first half this year. I give them a solid A, just because, I mean, they are, like, I know they're third in their division, but if you take your points per game with considering what with the few amount of games played, they're like third or fourth in the NHL. So you can't say, oh, the Leafs are you're overrating the Leafs. No, they're outside of a terrible 2 weeks to start the year. They've been one of the best teams in the NHL. There's no doubt about it. But again, for the Leafs, it'll always come down to playoff time. Again, sorry for this video being a bit late. I've been feeling under the weather the past couple days. It's not COVID. I'm doing just fine. Thanks for asking. Use the hashtag BourneSports. Get this YouTube video show going. I'm having a blast doing it. I notice the views are getting higher and higher. And I also just want to give a bit of shout. I'm just going to give a shout out to my friend Chris Panis. Today's his birthday. I'm not going to say his age. I am recording this on February 2nd, Groundhog Day. And also, this is Black History Month, starting yesterday. And please, don't support your black businesses just because it's Black History Month. Support your black-owned businesses, small businesses, year-round, to the point where Black History Month honors the good history, not just looking back at the bad history. There's a lot of good history here in not just in Southern Ontario, but across the world. The African American community is invaluable, and we love having them with us. Yeah. So again, use the hashtag BourneSports. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time where we talk a little bit Olympic talk. Have a good one.